I'm often asked, what is President Obama going to do about loan mods? What are all the new changes that are going on, and how's that going to affect the loss mitigation business? If you're in the business of modifying people's loans, or you're thinking of getting in the business of loan mods, I want to tell you a couple things. First of all, is the field crowded, and is there still room for other people? The answer is there are at least 3 million homeowners that are in current distress right now. 3 million. And there's about 10 million homeowners that are basically very distressed, but they're still making their payments. So the field is enormous. And there's nothing that President Obama or Congress is going to be able to do about this anytime soon, because everything they do is making the problem even worse. For example, let's say that they allow people to write down their principal balance. That is, to reduce the amount that they owe without having to do a short sale, without having to move, and without having to ruin their credit. What's going to happen to those 10 million people who are up to their eyeballs, who already owe more than their house is worth? What are they going to do? They're going to want their loans principles reduced also. There's not enough money in the United States to cut everybody's loan amounts down that way. Believe me, they're not going to do that, because it would just, it's called moral hazard. Everybody would want their loan balances reduced. It would be a disaster for the entire market, for the world financial system, much worse than what we've seen. So they're not going to do that. What they are going to do, it most likely is, they're going to allow people to reduce the amount that they owe in bankruptcy, especially Chapter 13. They love Chapter 13 because Chapter 13, you still owe on your debts. You still pay your debts over 3, 4, 5 years before you get your bankruptcy discharge. So they want you to go into a Chapter 13. They want you to, they'll write down the principal amount. They'll write down seconds, if you have a second, and eventually, you'll be evened out. But in the meantime, you're having to go through the whole bankruptcy process. That is something that I believe is coming up. But a wholesale, we're just going to cut everybody's balance, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, in terms of the loss mitigation business, here's why this is still a great business. Because homeowners are getting screwed when they go to the lenders. Lenders are approaching homeowners with these deals, with these offers, and there's a lot of evidence that over 55% of loan mods that are done this way end up going to just garbage. They have to be redone. I was going to use a nastier word, but let's just call it just garbage. The homeowner fails to be able to maintain the new agreement and ends up in a bad situation again. The reason is the homeowner is negotiating with the lender, and the negotiation is uneven. The lender knows what they're doing and what they're trying to do, but the homeowner is not a negotiator. The answer is the homeowner needs to talk to somebody who helps represent their interests. They need somebody to help them with their loan mod, to deal with the lender and say, no, you can't do that. You could do this. No, the borrower can't afford that deal. They can afford this. If the homeowner has a strong advocate, someone who knows the loan mod business, who knows all the paperwork and all the machinations of it, the homeowner is going to get a loan mod that they can live with. They're much more likely to get a loan mod that's going to stay working and that's going to keep the homeowner in that house. They're much more likely to get the right type of deal. The lenders don't like that. They don't want to work with loan mod people because they like to push the borrower around. And if there's a loan mod person who knows what they're doing, the lender can't just push their borrower around. So the answer is that if you're in the loan mod business, you're thinking of getting in the loan mod business, there's enormous room for real people that really know what they're doing here. A homeowner would rather deal with somebody with whom they have a relationship and who they can trust to help them with their loan mod instead of calling up and getting some crap deal from the lender directly. And they'd rather deal with somebody who's reputable and knows what they're doing instead of a shyster or a scam sleazeball outfit that there's so many of just cropping up like weeds. So I hope that you'll keep in mind the loan mod business. There's an enormous potential here. When you do loan mods, there's also short sales that you're going to get into. You can do the 9-day house sale and sell houses every weekend. There's so much potential for this for a career. It's going to go on for years because the overhang in the real estate market is too enormous. It's just too enormous. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And everything they're doing is making the problem worse. I hope this has made sense to you. It's Richard Geller. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to my site, getloanmodsecrets.org, and get onto my email list so you can get one of my daily emails. Or just people love these emails. I never share your name with anybody, and you can just unsubscribe anytime by following a link at the bottom. Please comment on this if you're watching it on YouTube. Write in a comment, would you please? And subscribe to my channel if you want, and you'll start getting them every time I make a video. You'll get a notification of it. Pass this along to your friends also, and I hope that we work together very soon. It's Richard Geller.